Dr. Gilda, what's going on and what are we going to chat about today?
Well, as you know, I am spokesperson for the International Council for Men and Boys. I am always sent out on interviews with numerous places. Some of them are podcasts, some of them are radio, some of them are television. They're all over the map, but they're all connecting with lots of different audiences. This morning, this was great. This morning I was on KSGF out of Springfield, Missouri, and I had a radio interview. And the man who was interviewing me, Nick Reed, announced, what is this going on? Announced that I was their author of the week. And it was subsidized by one of their local bookstores. And so we talked about endlessly. Real men don't go woke. It was wonderful. He was Nick was very receptive. He was phenomenal. So that was the morning, how I started off the morning. The afternoon, oh, and then I went to take a workout class, lifting heavy weights. And then I came home and I was on a fabulous show called Stacy on the Right with Stacy Washington. And this is on Sirius. If you know, Sirius XM Patriot has their own kinds of programming that talk about things that I'm interested in. And she and I had like girl talk. It was great. I was jumping and jiving. I'm feeling so great about talking to her. And I don't know where she's been all this time, but I'm so glad we did meet because she said, you must come back. And I will certainly happily come back. And this afternoon, evening, well, it's really evening or nighttime for most of the world on the other coast, on the East Coast, at 11 o'clock-ish. The Rich Valdez Show. If anybody's familiar with that show, he runs a phenomenal show and it's always intriguing and it's always intellectually stimulating and I'm always learning from him. And the things that I learned from him, he in turn is learning from me about how I'm applying all the knowledge that I have. And I have sent him my book, Real Men Don't Go Woke. So I'm anxious to hear what he has to say about that. So that's tonight. It's been a very busy day with a lot of interviews. And in the middle of that, I'm writing another book. So I'm having a lot of work done.
So,
Uh,
what book are you writing?
it has to deal with cheating.
Hmm.
Um, it's called 99 Prescriptions for Fidelity, and there are 99 of them. And I'm running through them. I had started writing this some time ago, and then I found this buried and realized it had never been published. So I'm going to publish with Amazon. And I'm really getting into the weeds with this. And since it's been published, since it was written some time ago, I am rewriting. And that's the best fun because I can bring today the current situation of where we are today to a lot of the background of years ago. So it's not like I'm starting from scratch like I did with this book, Real Men Don't Go Woke. Oh my God. This took me a whole year to finish, but it was so well worth it. People are just flipping out over this book. And even when I don't think anybody's noticing it, well, then somebody will interview me and say, the name of your book. Wow, you had balls to write this book. And I said, well, I started out my career as a teacher in the crime-ridden, horrendous area of the South Bronx in New York. And as I was teaching the kids language arts, the kids were teaching me street smarts. And I have taken all the street smarts I learned from my students to where I am today. And that's my South Bronx moxie, as I call it. And you know what? I think there's something to be said about what our history is. When I was teaching in the South Bronx, I didn't want anybody to know when I moved into corporate America because everybody from corporate America thought, oh, teachers are such idiots. And many times they were. But right now, I'm at a place in time where I say, this was my background, and this is how I used my background. And I'm using that to counsel other people about grabbing stuff from their background that they did not think was all that pertinent to who they are today. But take that background and embrace it and run with it because it's that background that makes us unique. And when I started in corporate America, I was giving my executives major information about street smarts that they had never gotten anywhere else. And here I'm teaching MBA courses, and I'm still using the street smarts from the ghetto that I was teaching in. And whoever would have thought that when I was 20 and oh my God, so innocent and thinking that everything was going to be lollipops and roses in my future, here I am today and saying those were years that were so important. They were so important. And I take everything and I am embracing everything and I am applying it to everything I do. For
Okay.
example, the ICMB, International Council for Men and Boys, has done amazing research. Many of these people, and certainly the president, is PhD, and they know how to research. They know how to do all this academic research. And it's so interesting because I am taking their findings and their what they have learned from doing all their studies. And I am now superimposing on that with current social media. The people, the guys who I talk to on TikTok, the people I talk to on Instagram, the people I know and interact with all the time. I am superimposing that onto the academic findings. And I'm also part of an academia because I'm still teaching MBA courses and I'm still part of academia myself, but in a very weird way. Not straight academia, but academia with a tilt towards understanding social media,
Got it.
current day, what's happening today. So it's interesting how I have integrated everything. And I have a propensity for integrating things that don't belong together. Like
Exactly.
when I was running a program, an actual company called Country Cures, where I was getting homeless female veterans off the streets and into careers and into loving themselves again. These women were on the streets with children. Some of them would not go um, into the shelters that were provided for them because they didn't want to expose their children to this. These were the most fabulous women I have ever met in my entire career. And I got many of them off the streets and into revved up into great careers. So I did that for a while, but how did I do it? People said, "Well, how did you do this? Nobody else was able to get to these women." I used the most crazy thing. I took country music songs that dealt with the heart and relationships and women, I don't care where they're from. All women relate to relationships because
Uh,
that's what women are all about. And I took these relationship songs, and the women sat there,
okay. All
mesmerized.
right. All right. So the best place to go is drgilda.com. Appreciate it, Dr. Gilda, and we'll talk soon.